Today I'm talking about a protein in the body called laminin. And my grandma actually sent me an email about where this doctor, it talks about this doctor who's watching Louis Giglio, which I haven't heard of, but apparently he's a preacher, and he's giving a sermon on like how God has knit together our bodies and how evident it is. So laminin is a glycoprotein which acts as a binding agent between cell walls, um, and basically it holds the cell structures together and keeps them from falling apart. So it's inside of everyone. It's the main protein, an active part of the body of the membrane that so it like holds cells, like all the cells in our body together. Um, and so this doctor is watching the sermon that Louis Giglio is preaching, and so Louis is talking about how big God is. Like he breathed the stars into existence. Just like all the awesome wonders he's doing, and then he switches to like how God, knit even the smallest detail of our bodies, how He created them and how He knit them together. And so this doctor is pretty interested because he's in medicine, um, and so he as it keeps going, um, he starts talking about laminins and basically shows a structure of them, and the doctor never noticed, like through all his years of medical school and all that. The doctor never noticed how laminin is like cross. It's in the shape of a cross, like perfectly, to the point where you can't deny that it looks like a cross. Like it's just really evident, and so um, he just I don't know. It's just crazy. And the doctor said that what came to mind was Colossians 1:15 through 17. He, in the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation, for by him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities, all things were created by him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things are held together. And so, just looking at laminin, like literally, our cells in our body are held together by the cross, by the shape of the cross. Um, and he like, I mean, this is the image that he showed. The doctor explains wasn't just something that Louis got or whatever, but like if you look in any secular, you know, uh, any secular biology book or whatever books that they used in medical school that he was studying, it's like that. I mean, the shape of it is a perfect cross, um, and so I just thought this was interesting, especially because I'm going down the medical um, track, and just it's I don't know, something the doctor pointed out was just how much he enjoyed studying medicine in like college and grad school, because every day he was learning something new about how God was involved in our bodies, and he just kept saying like, how can people look at all this stuff? Like, how can his fellow classmates look at all this stuff and not like and still be able to say that there's not a God? It just blows his mind, just because there's so many examples of how perfect everything has to line up for our bodies to work, for the world to function, for everything to happen in these proteins that are shaped in the perfect uh, shape of a cross, and how they hold us together. Like they're the reason why our cells, like why we're held together and our cells can function. And it's just it's just crazy because I don't know. That's always been something that has just baffled me, like people seeing the amazing complexion, like in perfect order of our bodies, like, oh, a universe that's ordered in every way, and saying that either it was created from disorder, just like a Big Bang Theory that came out of nowhere, and that it developed into order. Like that just doesn't make sense to me at all. And so yeah, I just think that that's really cool. Seeing this doctor and seeing someone who's a Christian like that in the medical field and saying, like, standing up and saying, like, this is obvious, Jesus created the world and he created us, like God created us with perfection, and I think we need more of that. And so I'm just excited to keep learning about the human body in school and see just how crazy complex and how crazy detailed God's hand was in creating us, and how his hand is still just so evident in my life and in the lives of the people around me. So yeah. Later.